Hi, this is Alex from phpacademy.org, and this is a short video created for the new Boston. Now, in this part of our operators, when we're looking at operators, we need to think about an operator that doesn't just deal with equating the value, but we have to look at the data type as well. So let's just give an example of num1, and I'm going to equal this to 1, and that's in a string. So we've got a string with the value 1. Now num2, and that's going to equal 1, but as an integer data type. So now what happens if we create an if statement and we actually compare these two values? So let's compare num1 to num2. So we're using the double equals operator, which is equal to, essentially. Let's echo equal, else echo not equal. Okay, so this is a basic if statement. We're saying if num1 is equal to num2, echo equal, otherwise echo not equal. So let's just open up our browser and refresh and preview what we get. So we've got equal here, so we're essentially saying that 1 does equal 1. However, if you look at this from a logical point of view, we've got 1 as a string, so we've got our single quotation marks around it, and 1 here is an integer. So this is in fact a number, this is in fact a string. Now what PHP has done is it's dealt with this as a 1 in itself, and it's dealt with this as a 1 in itself, so they're essentially the same character, even though this is an integer and this is a string, so therefore it's saying that they are equal. Then what happens if we want to say, is num1 actually equal to num2? You know, in reality, if I was to say the number 1 or a picture of the number 1, they are the same thing, but we need to think about the difference between numbers and a graphical representation, so a string of something. So for this we use the triple equals comparison operator. So instead of putting two equals, remember equal is an assignment operator, this is a comparison operator, triple equals is also a comparison operator. But what triple equals does is it will compare not just the value, but it will also compare the data type. So if the data type does not match in this case, using the triple equals, then we're going to be echoing out not equal, because this statement here will be validated false. So let's give that a go. Let's come and refresh. Okay, so you can see that now, just by adding in that extra equal symbol, we're now saying not equal. So we now know that 1 as a string data type is not equal to the number 1. So why is this useful, and when might you use it? Now it's useful for the obvious reason that we may want to convert, we may want to keep our comparisons as literal as possible. We want to say it must equal, the number 1 must equal number 1. Now for example, if I was submitting form data and I was to type in a number 1 and we were comparing it to number 1 as in a 1, we wouldn't use the triple equals operator. We would compare it like this, because this is still the number 1. So there's places you can use it and places you can't use it. I mean, a lot of people tend to use it even when they don't actually need to, but it's just for added sort of comparison integrity, if you like. So you'll find that perhaps in other instances you find this, other times you may need to use the triple equals, especially in some of my tutorials as well. I tend not to use it a lot, but in things like dealing with files as well, we might need to use it as a literal. So this is the triple equals comparison operator, and hopefully you will find some use for it when you are comparing exact values and you want to check data types as well.